Hello guys, welcome to Daily Current Affairs and Reason program from Team Enlight. Today we'll be looking into three topics. The first one concerns international law bodies, that is International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, Permanent Court of Arbitration. We'll be looking at the key points and know in which of these bodies India has membership. Then we'll be looking into the Competition Commission of India, which was in news because of the verdict against Amazon and Flipkart, and which was appealed in High Court and turned around recently. So we'll be looking at the key points and the main perspective that we ought to know on this topic. We'll also be looking into the topic of Index of Industrial Production and Annual Survey of Industries, which are similar yet different. And we'll also be looking into the key points of both. Okay, let's move on. The first topic that we are considering for the day concerns International Court of Justice. It was in news because Pakistan Assembly recently passed a bill to allow Khushbu Jadhav to appeal his conviction. So the article talks about the bill, which provides a right to appeal and gives consular access to Kulbhushan Jadhav, which is in line with ICJ ruling in 2019, International Court of Justice ruling in 2019. So we'll be looking at the key points that we ought to know in the context of ICJ. It is a judicial organ of UN uh, based in Peace Palace in Hague, Netherlands. It settles legal disputes between states. Now, this is important. I'll come back to this. It settles legal dispute between states and gives advisory opinions in accordance with international laws. It is composed of 15 judges, all of whom are elected by UNG and UNSC for a term of 9 years. And unlike other organs, there are no government representatives in this body. All of them are independent judges, and the judgment by ICJ is final and binding on the parties and is without any appeal. So these are the key things that you have to know about ICJ. Being a member of UN, India is a member of ICJ. Now, moving on, another important international law body that is in new and can often be confused with International Court of Justice is International Criminal Court, formed by Rome Statute. It basically tries individual. Now, this is one important distinction. ICC tries individuals charged with the gravest crimes of concern, such as those of war, genocide, crimes against humanity, etc. Now, another important thing that you have to know in this context is India is not a party to International Criminal Court, and also very important. International Criminal Court has nothing to do with UN. It is not a UN body. However, UNSC can refer certain cases to the ICC, granting it jurisdiction. Examples being the Darfur war crime issue, or the Syria war crime cases, where UNSC referred these cases to the ICC, granting it jurisdiction. Okay, you can read more about ICC. Then, Permanent Court of Arbitration, one of the oldest international judicial bodies, formed by a convention in 1899. It is an intergovernmental organization dedicated to serve the international community in the field of dispute resolution, primarily by arbitration. So this is important, primarily by arbitration. India is a member of this convention, and it was in use recently for the Kine Energy India versus Government of India case. You need to read more about this organization. I just thought of giving you a very brief idea about the distinction between this body. Another important law body in the context of international law is the IT laws, which is International Tribunal on Law of Seas, based on UN clause. You can also read more about it. India is a member also of the IT laws. So one thing that you have to know is India is not a member of ICC. India is a member of all the others. And also all these three bodies are based on Hague in Netherlands. Okay. You can read more about it. Moving on. Then we have Competition Commission of India. There was a recent news regarding High Court upholding the Competition Commission of India verdict against Amazon and Flipkart for their anti-competitive behavior. Now, what we need to know about CCI? CCI is a statutory body created under Competition Act 2002. Its primary aim is to establish a robust competitive environment. Composition, it has one chairperson and 6 members, all of whom are appointed by the central government. It's a quasi-judicial body. It licenses and provides opinions to legal authorities. What are the key objectives? Consumer welfare, ensuring fair and healthy competition, implementing competition policies, ensuring alignment of sectoral regulatory laws in tandem with the competition law. You should also know that till 2017, appeal of any CCI ruling was to Competition Appellate Tribunal. However, in 2017, it got replaced by National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, NCLAT. Okay, you should also know that CCI comes under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and has its headquarters. The main perspective for CCI, CCI has been in use for its various successful rulings against cement companies, against e-commerce companies. In this main perspective, you need to know the need, you need to know the achievements or successes of Competition Act and CCI so far. What are the failures or challenges associated with that? There's a high chance UPSC can ask a question from this area. Okay, moving on. Then you have the index of industrial production, which was in news. There is a contraction of IIP from the March levels. So, what are the basic key points that you have to know about IIP? IIP is compiled and published by CSO, which is a body under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. There is a lag of 6 weeks in the publication of IIP index data after the concerned reference month. It essentially tracks the change in volume of production in the Indian industries. Okay, so IIP primarily concerns the volume. This is important. We'll discuss why this is important in the context of ASI. Okay. Now, when we discuss IIP, there are two things that you need to know specifically. One is there are 8 core industries concerning IIP, and these core industries contribute about 40% weight of the IIP. What are the 8 core industries that concern? Electricity, crude oil, coal, cement, steel, refinery products, natural gas, and fertilizers. Okay. Then what are the broad sectors? The broad sectors are mining, manufacturing, and electricity. The relative weights are about 77, 14, and 8. You should know that the relative weights of all these sectors and industries changes. So you have to be updated with it from the previous perspective. Another important uh, topic in this context that is important is annual survey of industries. It is used to track the health of industrial activity in the economy over a longer period of time. As the name suggests, annual, it is an annual survey. It has a much larger sample of industries compared to IIP. But one of the most important distinctions with IIP is the growth rates in ASI are derived on the basis of value addition, on the basis of value added. That is done by comparing input and output. And the growth rate in ASI is on the basis of value addition rather than on the basis of volume, as in the case of IIP. So this is one important distinction that you have to know. Another similar term that you have to know from the manufacturing production perspective is the Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, which also helps benchmark the performance of manufacturing sector. You can read more about it. So these are the key things that you have to know from this perspective, this topic. With more news articles and exam perspective, I'll join you tomorrow. Thank you.